Welcome, my lovely grade 3s, to this mathematics lesson. It's me, teacher Nicole, and we are going to be doing some maths today. So, 2 days ago, we looked at 2D shapes. And today we're going to continue from that, and we're going to be looking at 3D shapes. So, if you'd like to just watch and learn about 3D shapes, that's okay. But if you'd like to write something down and try to remember some parts of the properties of 3D shapes, please get a pen or pencil and a page ready. Let's get to it, grade 3. If you have any questions about this lesson and you think there's something that I didn't quite clear up for you, please send us an email to grade3@worksheetcloud.com. Right. Today, like I said in the introduction, we're going to be looking at 3D shapes. If you remember, when we spoke about the D, we said that the D stands for dimensional, right? So 2D was for two-dimensional shapes, and today we're going to be looking at three-dimensional shapes. So what is our lesson outline for today? Well, firstly, we are going to do some Numbo Rumbo. We're going to revise shapes, the ones that we've learned from the previous lesson with me. We're going to look at properties of 3D shapes, popular 3D shapes, and then we're going to be looking at an activity. Okay, so that is what we're going to be doing in today's lesson. Numbo Rumbo. And again, you can hear the drum rolls. Grade 3s. So like the previous lesson with me, I gave certain objects or animals in the previous lesson numbers, and I gave they represent a specific number. So that's the same thing that's going to happen in this lesson. So firstly, I have a heart, then I have a smiley face, and I have a sun. And here are the different numbers that they represent. So the heart represents 4, the smiley face represents 5, and the sun, we don't know. So we're going to obviously have to figure that one out. And here we have the sum. So it's a heart plus a smiley face plus a smiley face plus a heart plus the sun is equal to 25. You have to figure out what the sun is equal to, because we already have what the others are equal to. So I'm going to leave it on for a little bit, grade 3s, and you can try and see if you can figure out how much the sun is equal to. So I'm going to try and help you here. I'm going to take out my pen and we're going to write down the values of the ones you already know. So we know that the heart is equal to 4. So I'm going to put my 4 on the top of my heart over there. And we know that the smiley face is equal to 5. So that's what we know so far. Remember in the previous lesson with me, I spoke to you about first figuring out how much that equals to together, and then we subtracted from our whole number on the end over here to find out what exactly is this one. So we are going to add this up together. We're going to say 4, sorry for my ugly 4s, grade 3s, plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 is equal to, so 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 5 is 14, plus 4 is 18. So that's how much those are equal to. Now I have to say 25, which is my total amount, minus 18. And remember, we can use our leapfrog method, okay, to find out what the answer could be. So let's try the leapfrog method. I'm going to put my 18 here at the bottom. And I'm going to see how many jumps I need to make to get to 25. So I'm going to use a different color for that. So if I make one jump, it gives me 19. Second jump, 20. My third jump, 21. I must be careful, I might just go right up against my face over here, so maybe I should go up grade 3 just in case. Right? And then another jump will be 23. Make this jump a little bit more visible. 24. And another jump, 25. So, we've jumped to our number 25, the number that we needed to stop by, the bigger number in our sum. So let's count that. How many jumps? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 jumps. So that means 25 minus 18 is equal to 7. And the sun, therefore, is equal to 7. Very good, grade 3. Let's move on. So, I'm going to bring myself back down now, so I don't get in your way. Let's revise some shapes. Over here, we have the different shapes that I went through with you in the last lesson that I've done. We went through the different shapes and we got a square, a circle, a triangle, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a hexagon, and over here we have a rectangle. Do you all remember this, grade 3s? I really hope so, because these shapes are going to be the basis for our next part of our lessons for 3D shapes. So you need to remember these ones. And I'm leaving it on the screen for a little bit so that you can just try and refresh your memory on them, okay? Right, grade 3s, let's move on. So, properties of 3D shapes. So, like I said, they are 3-dimensional. Now, in the previous lesson, we spoke about 2-dimensional shapes, okay? And we had length and width. So, the 2-dimensional shapes only had these 2 sections, okay? There would be our length and our width, okay? Now, we also have height. This makes this a 3-dimensional shape. But we also need to look at the properties of our 3D shapes. So, we have a vertex or vertices, which is now incorporated into the 3D shape. What is a vertex? It is where 2 or more edges meet. Now we're seeing a word we don't quite understand over here. Edges, okay? So we have to look at the word edge. What is an edge? Edges are where 2 faces meet. Goodness me. Now what is a face? And here at the bottom we have what faces are. Flat surfaces of a shape. So here we have a face and here's a face, grade 3s, and that is also a face over there, and there will be a face at the bottom because it's every flat surface of the shape. So when we can go back to the edge now is where those faces meet here on the corners. That is what an edge is. So here I'm going to draw a circle around it. That is an edge. Then a vertex is where two edges meet. So here the edges are, okay, on the ends, and then the vertex is here. This going along this line over here. That is the vertex. So when we look at the shape, we can actually see that there's a vertex there. Will be a vertex there as well. There'll be an edge right over here. I'm gonna label it as E. And then as you can see, the faces, are the flat surfaces of the shape. So an edge is like the little corners on the side there where the vertices meet or the faces meet. And then the vertex is where the edges meet, like this long section here where the two shapes meet on the side. And then the faces are the flat surfaces of the shape. I'm going to just leave it there for you for a little bit, okay? So that you can get an idea of the properties of 3D shapes. Okay, we're going to move on. So popular 3D shapes. Why I'm going to add this in grade 3 is so that you can see our different types of 3D shapes. And before I give you the answers, I want you to sit there and try to figure out if you can remember what these 3D shapes are called, or even if you want to guess, I want you to shout it out there wherever you are. So here they are. Please, wherever you are, you try and figure out what these 3D shapes you think, which ones you think and what you think they are called. So, the first one here on top, as you can see, it looks like a square, but it's a 3D shape, so it is not called a square. That is called a cube. Over here, we have what looks like a triangle, but it's not called a triangle. It is called a triangular prism. Please, once I put the names of the 3D shapes, I want you to sound the words out, grade 3s, because that will help you remember it. So, cube, triangular, prism. A rectangular prism. And here it is, rectangular prism, triangular prism, and a cube so far. A hexagonal prism. And the reason why it's a hexagonal prism is because it has the same amount of sides that a hexagon has, which is 6. Okay, so the base is a hexagon and it's a 3D shape and we call it a hexagonal prism. This is a cone. Okay, so it has one flat surface here at the bottom and the rest of it is curved. A sphere only has curved surfaces. Okay, so prisms over here has flat surfaces. The pyramid, the prism, flat surfaces, but the sphere has only curved surfaces, and the cone has a curved surface and one flat surface. And then the cylinder has curved surfaces as well as a flat surface. So how can we tell the difference between a pyramid and a prism? Well, on the top over here, a pyramid ends at one point. Okay, so even though the base is a triangle, as it lifts up, it all meets at that one point over there like a pyramid. Whereas you can see a prism does not do that. So in this prism, we would have shapes like a rectangle over there and a hexagon. Because sometimes the question will be, what kind of shapes are in this 3D shape? You will see that in this shape over here, it will be a triangle and rectangle. Okay. Let's complete the table. Over here, I have a table on the screen for you, and I'm going to lift myself up over here so that we can do this together. So in this table, we're going to have a drawing, and we're going to have to give it a name, the faces, and then we're going to have to say whether they are flat or curved. So the first one, can you guys remember what we call this one? Think about it, grade 3s, and I'm going to put the other shape on as well. I want you to think about or try to remember what we called the two shapes in the previous slide. That's over here. This one and this one. I'm going to leave it on for a few seconds for you to try and figure it out. Give us the name, how many faces it has, and are they flat or curved? Okay, so from the previous slide, we know that this shape is called a cylinder. Forgive my untidy handwriting, grade 3s. I'm sure you write way better than me. And then, how many faces does the shape have? Remember, faces are flat surfaces. So at this moment, we can tell that there's one there, and there will be one at the bottom over here. So this one has two flat surfaces, so two faces. And does the shape have flat or curved surfaces? So we'll write that they have flat and curved surfaces. Because it has the two flat surfaces, the faces, and then it has the curved surfaces around the side over here. Then a cube is my next one. So I hope that you remember that that is a cube. And how many faces does a cube have? So there's 1, 2, 3 that we can see. But remember, it's a 3D shape, so that means there's a face on that side as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. So it has 6 faces, and it's only flat. So I hope you figured that out, grade 3s, when you were doing this one on your own. I'm going to leave it on for a few seconds for you to try and get used to this, because in your activity that I'm giving you, it's going to be an activity very similar to this one. So, grade 3s, please remember, if you have any questions about this lesson, to send it to grade3@worksheetcloud.com. An activity and memo is provided for you after this lesson so that you can get some practice on 3D shapes. But most of all and most important, I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. From me, Teacher Nicole, I hope you have a wonderful day further. Goodbye.